Intimacy is all I need from you to me.
Now, it would be a bold fool indeed who tries to tame lightning. For every player within the Warframe community, there is the perfect Warframe, right? None of us are the same, and we all have our preferred playstyle. You might prefer a tank or a glass cannon that deals huge damage numbers, or crowd control could be your thing, because there is a lot of Warframes for us to pick between. And considering how popular my most recent Necros video was, I thought let's make a fun series out of those setups. The perfect frame exists for each of us, but what is yours? Forget being a meta slave focusing on shield gating and red crit steal path. It's boring. Come out of your cave and have some fun. My most used Warframe is Nova or Nova Prime, so that's who I'm starting this series off with, a frame of harnessed antimatter. So Nova is one of our oldest Warframes. This is her nearly 9 years ago in one of my earliest videos with a Penta. She's a frame that can be used to speed up missions or slow them down depending on what you want at that time. She is a Warframe whose lore surrounds the fact that she was lured into a trap by a space pirate, Wholesome Yor, who wanted to trap her in the ship's antimatter reactor, but she outsmarted him by using her wormholes, spammed molecular prime, right, because that's what Nova players do, and sent him back through the wormholes into the ship's reactor instead, fully primed, and when he blew up, he restarted the ship and saved all of its crew. So she's cunning. And he was a bloody idiot. This whole setup in the video revolves around a Nova or Nova Prime as a tanky bruiser type, if you will, with 90% damage reduction that will be replenished with kills thanks to the molecular fission augment, returning up to 2 null stars when you kill a primed enemy. 18 null stars is what you will need in total at all times. The build also has an almost 300% damage buff with Eclipse as her subsumed ability instead of her wormhole, which also has a 75% subsumed damage reduction when you're standing in the shadows, but that doesn't really matter since you already have null star working on damage reduction. Range doesn't matter for Eclipse, so it's an easy fit for a neutron tank Nova. You're focusing on duration and strength. High damage reduction and high damage output. So combining her antimatter drop, which also isn't affected by range mods, so you can have negative range and it won't affect it. Her null stars, which need negative range to stop them seeking out nearby enemies and stick to her. The Eclipse damage buff, and of course the slow from her molecular prime. It gives you a Warframe with great crowd control, a lot of damage output, and one that barely takes any damage, right? Up to a point. Up to a point. Of course, if there's an acolyte that turns up and turns your abilities off, then it's good night for your Nova. Or if you're in ridiculously high level missions, then chances are you're going to get one shot at some point because you're not using shield gating. The build requires duration and power strength. Enough duration, I think roughly around 302 or 305% for those 18 null stars to give you the hard cap of 90% damage reduction, and enough power strength to give you a decent damage boost from your Eclipse ability. With my current build, I have just under 300% of a damage buff, and the buff lasts I think 75 or 76 seconds. Weapons can be whatever you want them to be, just once they deal a decent amount of damage, but for this footage I've gone for my Arcoplasma, my Latum, and honestly melee doesn't really matter, since you really don't want to be getting up close and personal with enemies with melee because your null stars will then switch off, but you will of course be getting them replenished at the same time. So look, a melee is entirely up to you, but I've used the Destreza simply because it looks cool and fashion is key. This is the build used in the footage. Ignore the form account, I have changed builds with my Nova Prime several times. Shock Horror, it has no Prime sure-footed or sure-footed, no adaptation or shield gating refresh, but that's fine. Most players in the Warframe community, regardless of what you're told, will only run 40 minutes to an hour in Steel Path and then reset, which this will do with ease. And as I said at the start of the video, this series isn't about being a meta slave, it's about fun. If you want to pop Brief Respite in there, or adaptation, or Prime sure-footed, then that's completely up to you. But you will need over 300% duration to have those 18 null stars. Umbral mods can be replaced by their normal variants if you don't have them. Same goes for the primed mods. It just means that your build will be weaker until you get those more powerful mods, which is fine. This build has 0 Archon shards equipped as well, so you could build, I guess, a welfare setup, if you want to call it that, just by using lesser mods and not having those Archon shards equipped. But by all means, let me know in the comment section below what your perfect Warframe setup is, the one you just love using for whatever reason. Have a great day, and as always, thanks for watching.